Hey everybody. This will be the only video I make in regards to that. I changed my logo colors. Yes, they are in the color set of the Ukrainian national flag. Um, Here's the thing. And there's a reason why I'm changing that for the time being, and it's not going to get changed until the fighting stops. Period. Um, my issue is not whether um, Russia is bad or the Ukraine is bad. Okay. I don't think the people of Russia are bad. And I don't think the people of Ukraine are bad. Don't think that at all. Are there problems within the leadership of both countries? Yeah, probably so. Vladimir Putin has demonstrated his thoughts and goals and ideals for 20 plus years. It's not exactly unknown, okay? Zelensky and his government that is in power in Ukraine don't know a lot about him. All I know is right now they are determined to fight for the sovereignty of their nation. And however you feel about it, there are friends of mine in Russia that don't agree with what's going on and they wish it would stop. There are people I know in Russia that think it's great. There are people in Ukraine who are very angry. There are people in Ukraine that want it to happen, which is weird. There's very few, but they're there. But here in the West, we sit here and we're watching all this and we wish it would just stop. And there's a reason why I wish it would stop. Specifically, why I wish this would stop right now. And it's the reason why I changed my logo to this color. And it's because last year I was introduced to a band. And just like a lot of you, I fell in love with Jinjer. And yes, they're from the Ukraine. And they made a song called Home Back. And it talked about this kind of stuff. But there was more to it than that. In December, I met this band, did a meet and greet, and Chelsea and I, we met them at a table, and they were just like every other band. We're in the middle of COVID, so they're all in masks, and we couldn't really spend too much time because there were a lot of people in line. But there was a particular person that really kind of talked us up. It's this guy right here. And his name is Eugene. And he talked about as much as he misses being home with his family, he loves being in America. He loves traveling. He loves the people. He wishes he could move here. He would just stay here. He'd probably stay in San Antonio because he loves the Riverwalk and everywhere he goes. The guy just loves traveling and he loves people and he'll just talk you up all day. But I already liked him as a bass player. He's my favorite bass player. I already liked him as a guy because he was so friendly and open and caring. But then he went home. And when he went home, I literally he became one of my favorite people on the planet. Well, there's a reason why. He goes home. The first thing he does, goes on a little vacation with his 7-year-old son. And I'm assuming it's his wife. And they traveled around Europe and stuff. And he stopped being just a bass player. He started being a dad. And this was kind of the last picture that he posted on Instagram from home, from Ukraine. There's his 7-year-old son. I'm assuming there's his wife in the background. He's not just a bass player. He's not just a Ukrainian. He's a dad. So I feel that. One of the biggest horrors and fears that any of us could have is not being able to protect our home, not being able to protect our family. And that's the problem I'm having right now with this. I don't see any Russian cities being bombed. I don't see any missiles flying into buildings in Russia killing families. I don't see that. So I want the fighting to stop. And I support the sovereignty of Ukraine. I support the people of Ukraine in being able to be who they are, being able to live their lives in peace. And whatever problems that Zelensky and Putin have are bullshit when you start destroying the lives of just regular people. And Eugene is a rock star, just like Tati and Roman and Vlad. Eugene is also a dad. He's just a guy. He's just a guy from the Ukraine who's pretty good at jiu-jitsu, apparently. Good job on that silver medal, buddy. But I know that they're safe. They've given us notifications that they're safe and stuff. But Eugene is just one guy. Just one example of people that are being affected by this. And as a dad, as a person, as a human, I sit over here in the United States in my little bastion of safety, and I look at all the situations. And until last year, I didn't know anybody from Ukraine. Never met anyone from the Ukraine. So it's always, oh, that's going on somewhere else. Now I have a face to what's going on, and it affects you. And I hear that Russia is threatening Finland and Sweden that if they join NATO, that it's going to be really, really bad for them and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? Apparently, if you're not part of NATO, you get invaded. So maybe they should anyway. Because I think NATO is the only thing that's keeping Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, and certain countries along that line from being the next country to be occupied. I don't care for all the political nonsense going on. I mean, I went on YouTube last night and I watched the UN Security Council vote to sanction, or not to sanction, but to condemn Russia's actions. And they went around the table, and there was countries like Kenya, Mexico, Canada, the United Kingdom, all these countries, even China, and of course the United States and Ukraine, all around the Security Council table saying it has to stop. You have to go back to Russia. You got to leave Ukraine. They're a sovereign nation. It's against the law. You're breaking international law. You're breaking the treaty of the UN. You can't do this, da 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 da. And they get all the way around to the president of the council, who just happens to be, this term, is the Russian Federation. Veto. So even though every country in that Security Council condemned it because Russia has a veto because they're a permanent member, technically they can do whatever they want. Think about that. They can do whatever they want because as a member of the Security Council, and right now they're the sitting chairperson right now, they can veto and do whatever they want, and the UN can't condemn it because any vote they have, they can just go, nope. That's not good. So to everyone that is in the struggle, those people that are in the Ukrainian military and the citizens who have volunteered for the Ukrainian military reserves, please be safe. I understand wanting to defend your country. I get that. Please be safe. To the families of those people, to the families of all Ukrainians, be as safe as you can. Find shelter. And let's hope that cooler heads prevail, even though it appears that cooler heads aren't the ones in charge. To the Russian soldiers, those of you who are serving the Russian Federation because it's your job and it's your duty, I understand you're following your orders, and I can imagine the punishments if you don't. Be sure that you, if you hear my voice or ever see this video, please conduct yourselves militarily in the Geneva Conventions and the UN Charter, where you only fight against combatants. Leave civilians out of it, please. To the leaders of both Ukraine and Russia, Y'all got to talk. Y'all got to stop. Russia, y'all got to go back. Y'all need to go back to Russia. Okay? I get it. I know it's a very sticky situation because there are ethnic Russians that live in Ukraine and they don't want to be in Ukraine. There's people in Ukraine that don't want Russia anywhere near them. I get all the history. It's hundreds of years old what's going on there. I get that. The problem is people are dying right now because of it. And that's just not good. I understand there's a pipeline involved and there's oil and natural gas, a lot of money, a lot of political influence. And you know what? It's not worth people's lives. But again, cooler heads aren't the ones in charge. So my name is Old School Nerd. This is the only thing I'm going to mention about this conflict until it's over. And until this conflict is over and the fighting stops, that logo is going to stay just like that. Now, I can't change the one up here. I'm not going to spray paint that one. That'd be a little permanent, but I'm hoping that I can change this back to all red very, very soon. And the only way that's going to happen is if we can restore the sovereignty of Ukraine and get the troops out. So I just want to let everyone know that's why I've changed it. I know it seems to be kind of a buzz thing that everyone's doing, kind of like, similar to Black Lives Matter or, this political thought or this, this hashtag here, No. This one I did personally, literally because of this guy. I don't think Eugene will ever see this video, but if he ever does, I appreciate everything you do as a dad first. And then I appreciate everything you do as a bass player and a musician second. And hope you and your family stay safe, as well as all the families of all the members of Jinjer and their support staff and their crew. I know that there's so many people that are part of that close-knit family, and I hope all of them stay safe. Do whatever they need to do to stay safe, because we need the music to continue, because we need Ukraine to continue. That's just the way it is. My name is Old School Nerd, and we'll see you on the next one.